And now, fans, without further ado, let's introduce the starting lineups.
League 1BC action is on the air from Cloverdale Athletic Park in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. A doubleheader here today taking place between Unity FC and Kamloops. The women's encounter already in the books. A 9-3 victory for Unity. Big goals match there, and now we get on to the men's. Let's get you the starting 11. First for the visiting Kamloops United. In goal, number 88, Taran. Outfield, number 2, Hagen Kim. Number 4, Javier Sagaste. Number 6, Riyad Jaha. Number 7, Ben Finley. Number 11, Stefano Retis. Number 12, Wyatt Leon. Number 13, Isaac Tate. Number 16, Rory Clements. Number 18, Sean Freeman. And number 21, Aaron Christensen. Your Unity starting 11 brought to you by Blue Pearl Mortgage Group. In goal, number 30, Harrison Goff. Number 5, Adam Hajdeki. Number 7, Bagveer Sidhu. Number 9, Victory Shambusho. Number 15, Nick Fussell. Number 16, Nasib Baines. Number 19, Dante Colborn. Number 20, Jordan Lowe. Number 21, Caden Ruby. Number 22, Francis Powell. And number 28, Lennon Thompson. The starting 11 for Unity FC, brought to you by Blue Pearl Mortgage Group. They're not just about mortgages. They're about helping you build a secure, prosperous future with strategies that go beyond traditional banking. Think outside the bank. Think Blue Pearl Mortgage Group. Unity entering this one, 6th in the standing on 8 points, 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws. They drew 1-1 with Nanaimo last match day, whereas Kamloops, they enter today 4th in the standings on 13 points, 4 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. They fell 4-0 to TSS Rovers last match day. So Kamloops, despite being the better of the two clubs on paper, standings-wise heading into this one, they're licking their wounds just a little bit. And we'll see if maybe Unity FC at home here, with a pretty even record, 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws. We'll see if they can put the boots to the visiting men in green and black. Unity, they're playing in their all-white strip with a little bit of pink tint, hue, and trim. Black piping as well. They're playing from right to left on your stream. Kamloops United, they're playing in the horizontal green and black stripes with white and gold trim and piping, black shorts, black socks. They're playing left to right on your stream today. And we're now underway, 16 degrees, mostly sunny here at Cloverdale Athletic Park. Corey Basso here with the call. Oscar PA announcing. We have Tommy behind the camera. DJ's in the house cranking the tunes, and we also have producer, was it Richard? It was Richard. Okay, good. I didn't forget his name. That would have been a criminal sin if I forgot his name. Producer Richard making us look and sound fantastic up here in the booth at Cloverdale Athletic Park. The Big Red Barn on 168th and 64th Avenue. If you're driving by, stop on by, grab a beaver tail, grab a pint of something frosty, and enjoy the matchup here. And it's a blistering start already with Victory Shambusho in control. Baines up the touchline. He was looking for Jordan Lowe there. The ball's cut out. Bit of a dogfight there. Pacey start with Nick Fussell. Former UBC man, who I had the pleasure of calling a few of his games in the past. Also Victory Shambusho. Adam Hajdeki. After a little bit of a pacey start to this one, Unity have settled into a bit of possession. They're content to just bop the ball around and look for the proper lanes and seams. Clip ball into the left touch line, into the path of number 15, Nick Fussell, who's wearing the Phantom of the Opera mask. Very dramatic and theatrical. All jokes aside, I'm sure he probably wouldn't want to be wearing that mask. Those can be pretty uncomfortable at the best of times, especially when going up to head the ball. So Number 15, Nick Fussell, playing with a bit of a face injury there. I don't think Kamloops have had a sniff of the ball yet. Jordan Lowe's on a lung-busting run forward, porks it into the path of Caden Ruby. He's onside, cuts it back, and it's a tap-in for victory! Shambusho! Early start for Unity FC. In the 3rd minute, it was the tap-in from Shambusho that'll go on the score sheet, but it was the C-splitting run of number 20, Jordan Lowe, that really carved open Kamloops. He poked the ball forward for Caden Ruby. A simple cutback. Flummox is the defender. Flummox is the goalkeeper. 1-0 Unity victory, Shambusho. Long raking diagonal ball on a dime there. Well picked up by Aaron Christensen. Finds his man in the left channel. It's Isaac Tate. He goes for a bit of a run. Finds his attacking player, number 7, in the box. Cuts it back. Trying to just open up for a lane there was Ben Finley, who just couldn't get through a sea of white legs. Now Victory Shambusho, the goal scorer, is actually back playing as an outside left defender. And it does just the charm as they're able to clear their yines, Unity. Good response from Kamloops, though, after kind of getting battered about in that opening 3 minutes as far as ball possession is concerned. They answered the bell there and showed exactly Unity FC what they can conjure up when they put their best foot forward. Christensen is probably the tallest player on the park if I got out my measuring tape. He's really tall. Oscar's laughing behind me, but he's a tall lad. He's really tall. Ball over the top now. It was Dante Colborn who actually almost was able to reel it in under pressure from Stefano Retis. It's a corner from the left-hand corner with the wind blowing ever so slightly in the trees behind the Coca-Cola advertisement at Cloverdale Athletic. There'll be a right-footed in-swinger right to the top of the area, punched clear by the keeper, Toran, who, yes, if you're looking at the stat sheets for today, the keeper only has one name, but he's not Brazilian. Figure that one out. Number 88, Toran, in between the sticks. Usually the players with the one names are of Brazilian descent or just fancy themselves super cool, so I'm willing to bet Toran's one of the super cool ones. Deep throw in for Kamloops up the left touchline. This could be a promising little opportunity for Unity. They just couldn't peel it out of the feet of the Kamloops defenders. Unity Football Club would like to acknowledge and thank the following club partners for their generous support throughout the season. Coca-Cola, Real Magic is only a sip away. And Macron Ontario, the preferred uniform and equipment supplier of Unity FC. Good wide ball there into the feet of the number 16. Nasib Baines, he puts in a ball, falls for victory. Shambusho, he gets underneath it. It was kind of bobbling about. He couldn't really get it to sit down for him, Shambusho. But it was clever play from the number 16. And Nasib Baines, who had put his head down to run through the back line of the Kamloops defenders. Oh, slick as you like there from Baines, who was just up the park moments ago. Now he's doing the defensive end as well. First touch for Hajdeki. And Shambusho now. Low center of gravity for Shambusho. He's a stocky individual as well, but he plays at such a pace you wouldn't know it, the brawny individual. Shot on goal! Kind of knuckles, and it gave Turan a problem. It was Dante Colborn who hit it first time on the instep, and it was always carrying away from that post. Good stretch and good palm away there by the number 88, Turan, who looked like that ball may have got the best of him, but he stuck with it and keeps it 1-0. If you're just joining us, an early victory Shambusho tap-in has Unity FC up 1-0. Kamloops now. They're going to have a shot on goal! That was almost the equalizer. Good cross. Skims across. Fizzes across the 6-yard box. And it was the outstretched leg of, just waiting for the lad to turn around so I can see his number. It was number 18 there, Sean Freeman, who threw everything in the kitchen sink at that one. I probably would have, hurt my groin doing that, but he's a well-trained athlete. Almost got to the end of it, almost popped it in, almost an equalizer. Good reply there from Kamloops, who have had to absorb a bit of pressure early in this one. Ooh, that was a half-hearted ball there, and Victory Shambusho gets wiped out from behind. That was a bit of a rugby tackle from Stefano Rittis, who just got bodied off it by Shambusho and kind of went for a bit of a behind-the-back judo throw. It's a foul, and Unity get the ball back in the left channel. Caden Ruby just kind of mistimed that one, misplayed that one. Kamloops falling 4-0 to TSS Rovers last match day. 4-0. A thorough waxing. And perhaps some of the lingering, unfond memories of that one are hanging on for some of these Kamloops players, conceding 3 minutes into this encounter, which I'm sure is not how they wanted to start their trip to Cloverdale. Shambusho now, who seems to have the ball on a tether, and nobody can shrug him off of it. The robust number 9. Fussell tried to clip it around his man, and he looks like a bundle of energy at the moment, does Nick Fussell. He can't get inside the Kamloops defender, though. 10th minute just about to tick over, and it remains 1-0. Empire CPA is proud to be Unity FC's official club accounting firm, providing expert accounting, advisory, and tax services in the Lower Mainland for over 40 years. Empire CPA, Unity FC's official club accounting firm. Kamloops now. It's Freeman, who didn't have a ton of options. Lasers it back to his defender. And it's a good clutch, or not a clutch, but a good claim and take and turn, I should say, in the sunshine on that far left-handed side. Nick Fussell, like he's been shot out of a cannon. Really pressing that back line of Kamloops. Christensen now on the dribble. Good ball into the feet of the number 13, Isaac Tate. Shimmies, shakes, risky challenge, and then a block again by Baines. Oh, and you know what? I think he got it in the naughty area there, number 16, Baines. He's down on his hands and knees, and he's clutching not the abdomen, but just the spot below the abdomen. I'll let you guys figure that one out. Oh, and Baines is still in some discomfort. He made the initial block and then took the subsequent shot right off the Unities. Not very fun. He's down in a bit of pain right now, and he's going to have a look, and it'll give both squads a chance to catch their breath, get a sip of water, and it'll also give us a chance to dip into our sponsors. Rona, a leading name in Canada's home improvement sector, helping DIYers, much like myself, and professionals bring their projects to life for over 85 years. Rona, a proud partner of Unity FC. I think everyone's having a bit of a slow clap here for Nasib Baines after he manages to peel himself off the turf and avoid any supplemental physiotherapy or treatment. Bravo to the number 16 of Unity. Kamloops, meanwhile, they're licking their lips over a potential feisty free kick here. Taken quick by Tate into the heart of the area, headed clear again by Nasib Baines, who's been doing everything early in this one. Chance for Unity. Ball played forward. Just a little bit too forward for Jordan Lowe to get on the end of. Of course, it was his endeavor that got that first goal for Unity. Helped to carve open that Kamloops defense, aided by Caden Ruby, and the finish by Victor Shambusho. Now he's in the penalty box. Shambusho now looked like he wanted to uncork one on the right foot, but tried to spray it to his right. Fussell now. Ruby with a blast. That one's charged down, flies up in the area, leaping header to clear it, and then a bit of head tennis. It's eventually hooked clear by number 4, Javier Sagaste, calling his name for the first time in a Kamloops shirt. Here comes Ben Finley now. This is better from Kamloops, just taking a bit of a sting out of it, as Unity look like they want to play forward at pace. Outside that opening couple of minutes where they were just bopping the ball around the back line, Unity look like they want to play a very vertical game, whereas Kamloops look like they just want to take a bit of the sting out of this one. Finley now, he's carried over to the left touchline. He's going to reel in the ball. Oof. Risky ball back there for Hagen Kim. He lets it roll, though. Clever bit of defending. Risky, but clever. He knew what he was doing. Ball played along the touchline there, looking for Finley, who's trying to make himself available from all angles. One half of the pitch basked in shade here at Cloverdale Athletic, the far side in the sunshine with just the faintest little bit of wind here, 16 and mostly sunny in Surrey, which was a stark contrast from how the day started as a Jumanji-style monsoon scene. But we've become accustomed to it in the Pacific Northwest. I don't think there was any change probably in Kamloops. They probably got it worse than we did, so. Floated ball over the top. Nobody in a Unity shirt really wanting to press that one. I think everyone was waiting for the short ball. Victory Shambusho, of course, 5 goals in 11 games last season, all-time leader in goals with Unity. It would only be fitting that he would open the scoring, and now he's forced to be doing a bit of defending as he's got Freeman there. Good backtracking recovery tackle from Francis Powell as well, as reinforcements had shown up for Kamloops. It was Javier Sagaste who was ready to serve up across, had that not been picked off. And after probably being the second best team in the opening, gosh, let's call it 7 minutes or so, Kamloops are starting to settle now. They're starting to have their way with it. Shambusho. Managed to just slither between a couple of tackles there, Shambusho. Goff for Baines. Good run here from Dante Colborne, and then a coming together between the two strapping lads. It was Colborne and Aaron Christensen who, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, strapping lad to say the least. Sagaste, ping ball forward, looking for Freeman. That would have taken Roadrunner-like legs to get that one onto the feet of Freeman, number 18. Powell. You can hear some of the cries. I don't know if the field mic is picking up, but some of the players who are making themselves available, bellowing, demanding the ball. Good backtracking run there. Ooh, and then a two-hander from behind. I think that might have been Baines committing the foul there. I beg your pardon. It was Bagveer Sadu on the far side. Of course, if you're in the area, Cloverdale Athletic Park, 168th and 64th. Shot here! That's a good punched away ball there by Goff, as that was hit with some kind of mustard, and it hopped up at the last second too, and had eyes for that side meshing. Goff had to be on his best behavior there, and he was. Good early save there. First real test of the evening for Harrison Goff in net for Unity. As mentioned, if you're in Surrey, the corner of 168th and 64th, look for the Big Red Barn and, of course, the Unity FC signs. And heck, if you're just hungry, just stop in for a beaver tail. They got the food truck on site here today. Producer Richard, he couldn't resist. It was calling his name. He had to go get one himself. I think he put one in his pocket to take home with him later, which is fine. We encourage that. But definitely come down to Cloverdale Athletic Park and check out the festivities here. Lots of stuff on display for the kids. I think they got a dog section as well if you want to bring your four-legged friend. Lots going on here, so definitely come check it out. At the moment, Unity enjoying their football. They're up 1-0. Victory Shambusho, their all-time leading scorer, adds to his tally in the 3rd minute. A simple tap-in after some good work, and that's a hip check if I've ever seen one. My goodness, Francis Powell. There's people in prison for less than that. That was a robust challenge from the number 22 of Unity. It was Ben Finley who had kind of given him the shimmy and shake and sent him one way, and Powell, the ends justify the means. He was taking no prisoners. He leans the big hip check into the number 7, and Kamloops have a real opportunity here from probably about, oh gosh, let's call it 30 yards out, maybe a bit more in the right channel. Here comes the cross. It's hit on a laser. A Kamloops player gets sent for a bit of a tumble in the box, but the referee says play on. It ended up being an easy pick out of the air for Goff. And now Unity will go Route 1 right back down the Kamloops end. It was Nick Fussell giving up the chase. Number 88, Turan in the net for Kamloops. He's wearing the sky blue kit in the goal to the left, right behind the, or right beside, I should say, the Coca-Cola advertisement. Good feet there by Wyatt Leon. Long ping diagonal on a frozen rope. That had all sorts of duck and swerve on it. Overlapping run there from Stefano Retis, used as a bit of a decoy. They lace it into the area. It flies out the far side for Isaac Tate to chase. Ball over the top again, looking for Javier Sagaste this time, and he's in a bit of a handsy scrap there with his man. It was Lennon Thompson. Thompson used his body to shield, and Sagasti was kind of hanging off of him there and ended up taking him down for a tumble. Clever ball inside there just to relieve the pressure. I think it was Caden Ruby who just split the seams there to open up some space. Looked like Unity might be trapped along that far side. Physio Station Sports and Injury Clinic is the preferred sports physiotherapy provider of Unity FC. Peak performance starts with strong recovery. Physio Station Sports and Injury Clinic. Once again, a proud supporter of Unity FC. Oh, a bit of a handball there. And the referee has missed a handball here, and I'm sure the Kamloops bench will be absolutely incensed if this somehow ends up in the back of the net, and sure enough it does. Victory Shambusho with an absolute rocket, and I'm sure every single Kamloops player will have a word for the referee after that one. Take nothing away from the finish from Victory Shambusho as he roofs it up. Top bins on the net, 2 on the night, and he adds to his tally as the leading scorer. Evades a tackle there as well from Christensen. Might have gone down there right over the head of the keeper, Turan, who all he could do was launch his hands up, and now the referee is going to go have to calm down the Kamloops coach and I think he does have a case on his hands. It was through no fault of his own. It looked like Naseeb Baines had handled the ball in the build-up to that goal. Play was waved on, and sure enough, as I mentioned in the call, if Victory Shambusho were to get that one in the back of the net, Kamloops would have a serious gripe, and the coach does not look like he's having this one. He is not happy. And some of his players are actually telling him to chill out now, and the fourth official is actually telling him to keep his head. But I definitely feel for the Kamloops squad in that one. They had managed to get a bit of a foothold after conceding some territory in that opening 20-some-odd minutes. Kamloops clip their man. And that's a foul in the right channel. In their own half will be Naseeb Baines. Main Road Group, bringing unparalleled expertise in infrastructure solutions, connecting the communities they serve. Safety first on the road or on the pitch. The Main Road Group, a proud supporter of Unity FC. Speaking of the main road, Unity going right up Main Street with this attack. The cross, though, takes a deflection. I guess actually comes off of Nick Fussell, and it'll go out for a throw-in, perhaps even a foul. It was Isaac Tate who got wiped out on that far side. In Kamloops, you feel will want to get a goal going into the locker room here, much like their women counterparts in the earlier match. It was a 9-3 final, but the score didn't reflect kind of how the game went. The Kamloops women were in it and fighting till the very death, and got a goal just before the halftime locker room to make it 5-2, and then came out in the second half and were very productive in the opening 15 minutes, and if it wasn't for the goalkeeper Pahal in the net for Unity, it might have been a much closer game as far as the score sheet, but very close anyways. Ball floated into the 6-yard box. The closest to it was Freeman, and he was head and shoulders below it. Dealt with easily by Unity. And it's Jordan Lowe now in the right channel into the path of Colburn. Colburn doesn't have a ton of options. He's going to get clipped, and that'll be a foul. And Kamloops didn't necessarily need to commit that foul. Colburn didn't have a ton of options, and he was kind of boxed out. But they take him down, and it'll be a free kick on the right touchline right in front of the Kamloops bench, more or less. Floated into the edge of the 6-yard box. The keeper comes flying out. He punches a Unity player, and then Victory Shambusho pops it home. It's a hat trick inside the first half hour for Victory Shambusho. The keeper, Toran, came out for a mighty punch, but it looked like he clocked one of his defenders. The pieces fall right to the feet of who else? Lucky number 9, Victory Shambusho, and he tucks it home. It's 3-0. And things are going from bad to worse for Kamloops here, who are now probably having flashbacks of the TSS Rovers result of last match day, a 4-0 drubbing. And I'm sure they won't want things to get into that territory. And it's such a shame as, like I said, outside of that opening 10 minutes, probably between that and the 21, 22, 23 minute mark, Kamloops had carved themselves out a nice little niche and found themselves a nice little rhythm, but a little bit of a controversial second goal for Victory Shambusho, coupled with a bit of slack defending on the last one, and another Victory Shambusho goal. All of a sudden, Kamloops have a very big uphill climb. Some speak that the third goal might actually be an own goal, but if I'm not mistaken, Victory Shambusho's shot was going goal bound and did take a deflection, so I think that technically would be his goal. If it was going wide and took a deflection and went in, then it would be an own goal, so we'll have to get some confirmation on that. I'm willing to lean on the side of giving Victory Shambusho the hat trick. And plus, Oscar did such a great PA announcement for it. Don't want it to go to waste. Doesn't sound as good when you're belting out own goal, does it? And Unity are hungry. They're going for a fourth. They're putting this puppy to bed early, and they might do it here with Colburn. Ooh, he gets bodied off the ball there, and he goes down a dash too easy. I think if he keeps his feet there, he can at least spray in across, but he gets thumped over. Referee says no goal, and play continues for Kamloops, with their back to 64th Avenue here in Surrey. Actually, the street I grew up in Surrey. Kamloops will want to get at least one, at least get some chances, get some positivity, get some momentum going into the locker room. Otherwise, it might be a long 45 plus the rest of this 15, call it 60 plus halftime. Colburn. Just a bit too aggressive there in the challenge, and gives his man a two-hander from behind. Good outside of the left boot ball there from Wyatt Leon. And Kamloops, they're just a bit too static at the moment. They need to get some movement. Everyone's just kind of stationary, not really moving positions. It's easy to defend right now at the moment for Unity. This is a bit better from Kamloops as Zagaste looks like he wants to press the issue. Now, head full of steam, carrying forward. It's Finley. Leon, this is better from Kamloops, working the width of the park now, side to side. Finley has it get away from him ever so slightly and then tries to ride the tackle of Colburn. He was just boxed out, though. And Victory Shambusho must be licking his chops. He's got 3 inside 30 minutes. If I do my math, he can have 9 by the end of the day. I mean, that's very optimistic math I'm doing here for you people on the air right now, but he must like his chances, Victory Shambusho. And to be fair, he's deserved it so far. He's done ever so well in the midfield to shield the ball from sometimes 2 or 3 green shirts and create space for his fellow teammates. And here comes an opportunity now for Unity up the right-hand side into the heart of the area, cleared away by Christensen, and he had to be tidy with it, Christensen, as there was a few white shirts hanging around the 6-yard box. There's a robust challenge. It's a clean one, and then a good-headed win by the Kamloops defenders. Freeman. He had Finley to his right, but he got just a bit too cute there, did Freeman. And it comes off the heels of a half-decent little spell from Unity where Shambusho had created some opportunity, or I should say some space in this left channel. It opened up some avenues in the center of the park. I believe it was Bagveer Sadhu who ended up almost pulling the trigger from that right channel. As Kamloops had done the play before, working the play side to side. Unity said, what you can do, we can do a bit better. And they almost got a chance out of it. Foul there from Kamloops. Unity get the ball back just inside the offensive half. Be Bagveer Sadhu. He'll take it quick and easy. Long raking cross. Unfortunately, it just didn't have enough lift on it. It was an easy clearance from the defender, Rory Clements, whose name I haven't called a ton here early in this affair at Cloverdale Athletic Park. League One BC action. The doubleheader, of course, the women's taking place earlier today, a 9-3 result for Unity. Goals aplenty there, in case you didn't pick up on the scoreline. And this one sits at 3-0. Victory Shambusha with all 3 goals. Some controversy surrounding the second one. Good play there by Unity. It was actually, I think it was Ruby who did well to shrug off 2 or 3 green shirts. And they were beating up on him pretty good, but he kept his run going in the penalty box, was able to almost poke a rolled ball into the path of, I believe it was Nick Fussell. It was eventually cleared by Kamloops, though. Good stuff from Unity here in the 35th minute. Unity FC is proud to partner with the One Group Agency. Bold ideas, community-focused storytelling, and effective strategies for all your creative content needs. One Group Agency, a proud supporter of Unity FC. Kamloops just trying to reestablish some of that rhythm they had earlier in the half. They're struggling, though. Unity are not letting them breathe. They're not keeping a ridiculously high line, our Unity, when it comes to their pressing, but they're certainly keeping them honest. The second they step towards that halfway line, the press is on. Floated ball over the top for Finley. He got a bit of a two-hander there in a sea of white shirts. He's asking for a little bit of mercy from the referee, but to be fair, the referee has kept the whistle firmly in his pocket. He's not bringing it out unless it's a special occasion today, something tells me. Ooh, that was a bit of a thugging there from, I think it was the defender, Adam Hideki. He just tossed his attacker aside like a sack of potatoes. An unwanted sack of potatoes, I might add. Finley. Ooh, good pick off there by Bagveer Sadhu. Now he's on the trot. Overlapping run of Sadhu. Will he get the ball? He will from Powell. Sadhu holds on. He's going to wait for some reinforcements. Put himself into a bit of a spot of trouble, Sadhu, and now he's welcomed the pressure back on his squad. Sprayed that return ball all the way to the corner flag, and Harrison Goff will now have to get the lads moving forward. 37th minute, 3-0, victory Shambusha with all 3 goals, but we're checking on the third one. Potential own goal, potential. Be a throw in for Unity near touchline. Francis Powell. Lennon Thompson returns it. Good dribbling. Lots of good dribblers on Unity today. Ball sprayed wide right by Dante Colborn, but it was way behind Bagveer Sadu. He couldn't get back in time to retrieve it, and it'll be a throw in the way of Kamloops. 8 minutes plus change to go in this first half. But he was in a favorable neck of the woods. Oof. Ball played off the face of Nick Fussell there, I believe. But he's got the protective mask. Not also decorative, very practical as well. Baines asking for some options. He gets it. Fussell a little bit too much weight on the pass there. It rolls way ahead of Ruby. And Turan will walk over to his corner flag by the UnityFC.ca advertisement to pick up the ball. And the Kamloops coach, not sure if the field mics are picking it up, but giving some instructions to his squad. He's screaming, "This is too easy, guys. Just a bit too stationary. A bit too many predictable gaps and lanes for Unity to play through." Ruby now, misplaced pass, he almost gets on the end of. Kamloops clears it up, though, with Riyad Jaha. Kim. Ooh, good play there by Kim as he hooked it between the two defenders to split the wickets. Unity, though, united to thwart that attack. Of course, for all the latest League 1 BC match updates, scores, stats, standings, and news updates, be sure to download the League 1 Live app, free from Apple or Android app stores. Keeps you up to date on everything going on with Unity, Kamloops, and all the squad's men's and women in the League 1 BC. Get you a bit of an out-of-town scoreboard here as well, as I'll bring up the live League 1 app. Very topical. Yesterday, 2 games. Friday, May 30th. Langley United, 2-1 over Burnaby, and TSS Rovers over Evolution. Of course, 2 games today. Vancouver Whitecaps Academy 3, Nanaimo United 2, and of course the encounter we're witnessing right now, Unity 3 up on Kamloops. Victory Shambusho with all 3. Potential own goal on the third one, but we're glass half full here at Unity FC. We're giving it to Victory Shambusho. Kamloops are playing some good football at the moment. They're moving the ball around and they're finding their players. Unfortunately, it's in their own half. They need to find a way to get the ball moving forward, get the ball moving fast, and get some of their pacier players, the likes of the Sean Freemans, the Ben Finleys, Isaac Tate, Javier Sagaste. Those 4 players have been the most involved going forward. And I think Kamloops needs to get them more involved in the play and on the ball. And right there, they've done just that, and they've won a free kick. Makes it sound like I know what I'm talking about, but it's the lads in green and black doing the damage down there. And dangerous free kick. Right channel. Bit of distance. He's going to need to whip it in with some pace and get it over the 18-yard line, which sometimes from this kind of range can be a real problem. It's Sagaste. We'll see what he can do with it. There's also Isaac Tate in the mix as well, left-footed. I think it's going to be Tate here. It is going to be Tate. It's helped on. It's got some lift on it. And it was Kim who tried to knot it down, but he just mistimed the nodding motion. And I'm pretty sure he probably felt that one breeze through his hair follicles. He was ever so close was Kim, and it was a great delivery from the left-footed Tate. No trouble for Harrison Goff, who outside of that one palmed save early in the first half, it feels like eons ago, he hasn't really been troubled today. Kamloops got to do more to get some balls inside the 18-yard box and really trouble the man in green. Jaha. Are we going to have a corner here or a deep throw in? Just tough to see from the broadcast vantage point. Oh, no, you're okay, Richard. It's okay. It's not you. It's my eyes. Yeah, it will be a corner kick. It will be a corner kick. And it's Tate again to whip it in, left-footed. He might just want to put this one right on the 6 on the goal line on top of the keeper and just try and see if he can knuckle him. Just to get some chaos going. Speaking of chaos, the referee now having a stern word with some of the players inside the penalty box, giving them a bit of a talking to. Yeah, it's Nick Fussell. It's Nick Fussell. He's in the mix. And it's Christensen again as well. They've been going tooth and nail at each other. It's been a good battle between those two. And they're still going at it. And the referees are like, oh, okay, lads, come on now. Here it comes. Tate. Near post, headed on by Kim again. This time he got the head to it. And he was flying across the 6-yard line like a bullet. It would have been tough to redirect. He did ever so well. Unfortunately, he just popped it a couple yards over the junction of the crossbar and the post. Good little play there from Kamloops, who, if they can get a goal here, they got something to play for in this second half. Even if they get a goal in the second half, there's something to play for because it doesn't look like Unity are going to sleep or letting them play, but Kamloops just look like a bit hungry of the two squads at the moment. They just got to keep on getting balls into that 18-yard box. I know I sound like a Kamloops United broadcaster supporter at the moment. But I think the last thing we want to see is another 3-0, or I beg your pardon, 9-3 bashing, or a 3-0 bashing. You want to see some competitive spirit in this. And I think Kamloops are holding up their end of the bargain. But like I said, they got to get themselves a goal, and they got to get the ball in the mix and really cause some havoc for Goff. Sagaste, he's all alone. Good play there by Sagaste. Almost had eyes in the back of his head for that one. Great overlapping run. Gets it to his man. We're into added time here. Bundled over on the edge of the area. Is it a penalty? It's not. It's just outside. Mercifully for Unity, but it will be a yellow card for the number 7, Bagveer Sidhu, who he just got the old shake and bake there from number 13, Isaac Tate. Couldn't keep up with him and just had to tumble him over. Thankfully for him, it was outside the penalty box, or it might have been a lifeline back into this contest for Kamloops. Unity might have a concert after this game if they're victorious. Who knows? But we won't say that just yet. The referee's just still having some chats and gesticulating some positioning and some actions for the players. And it looks like we're ready to go now. It'll be a right-footed, I think he's going to shoot it. He is going to shoot it. It's a fantastic save by Harrison Goff, who it looked like it might have been a whipped cross to the very back post, but it was a shot right underneath the crossbar, and he just punched it over. Good reflex save there by Goff, who he's been tested twice on shots from range today, pacey shots from range, and he's done well to parry both of them. They'll be keeping their eyes on Kim because he's been throwing himself at just about every aerial chance here. 6-yard box headed straight up by Victory Shambusho. And I believe the referee has blown for the halftime whistle. In fact, he has 3 goals for Unity FC, all off the foot of Victory Shambusho, their leading goal scorer. 3 for the number 9. And Kamloops, they've had their chances, a couple, 2 stingers. One at the very death there as well. They're not out of this one by a long shot, but they're certainly going to have to put their best foot forward and try and get something in this second half. It's 3-0 heading into the break. Unity FC would like to acknowledge the following League One partners: CIBC, the league partner for Canada Soccer, the Canadian Premier League, and League One; Gatorade, Rehydrate, Replenish, Refuel; the Cruyff Institute, educating athletes, sport and business professionals to become leaders in sport management; Derby Star, the official ball of the Canadian Premier League and preferred match ball for L1BC; Macron, work hard, play harder, the Canadian Premier League, where Canadian soccer takes flight; One Soccer, the home of soccer in Canada. Join the movement and watch every CPL and Canadian national team match from any device. And of course, BC Soccer, encouraging us all to play, inspire, and unite. If you're in the area, in Surrey, 168th and 64th, Cloverdale Athletic Park, look for the Big Red Barn. It's Unity taking on Kamloops. Doubleheader, League One, BC action. Halftime is upon us. We'll be back in just under 15 minutes' time.
Globally, our home, where Surrey's roots run deepest and where we are building our future. From its historic downtown to the rodeo grounds and racetrack to our home field at Cloverdale Athletic Park, Unity FC embraces the past while driving toward the future.
All right, folks, we're down here on the field for our Coca-Cola halftime game time. Today's game, it's the center field pass out. we have Skyly, Larissa, and Nora, our competitors today. Fans, let's give them a round of applause. So what our contestants have to do today, they each have 3 chances to pass the ball and try to strike the Coca-Cola bottle tower. And whoever hits it first is going home with a Coca-Cola prize pack. All right, let's see who wants to go first over here. Nora. All right, Nora, in your own time. 3, 2, 1, go. That's all right, passing it wide left. Second attempt is not bad. And the third one is looking better. Ooh, skims out right. Now we have Skyly. All right, ready? In your own time. Good pass right there. It's trickling just a bit right. Let's see what she does with the second one. This one is still trickling right. Can she adjust for the final one? Good management of power there. This is gonna creep through just into the center circle. Great try. Larissa, now it's your turn. All you have to do is get close enough to the Coca-Cola prize pack tower there in the middle. A bit of a helpful knock. The second one is looking really good. This is looking like a very close one. A clear winner here. Do we have it? Fans, I think we have our winner. It's Larissa. Congratulations. You're going home with a Coca-Cola prize pack. Folks, thank you so much for joining us for our Coca-Cola halftime game time. Be sure to check out the food truck, the concession stands, the beer tent, and of course, our partners, Blue Pearl Mortgage.
Don't
Rona, a leading name in Canada's home improvement sector, helping DIYers and professionals bring their projects to life for over 85 years. Physio Station Sports and Injury Clinic, preferred sports physiotherapy provider for Unity FC. Peak performance starts with strong recovery. And Blue Pearl Mortgage Group. They're not just about mortgages. They're about helping you build a secure, prosperous future with strategies that go beyond traditional banking. Think outside the bank. Think Blue Pearl.
Welcome back to Cloverdale Athletic Park, League 1 BC action. Unity in control, 3-0. And they all came from that man, the all-time leading goal scorer, number 9, Victory Shambusho. The first one easy as you like. Tap in after some great work by Lowe and Ruby up the far side. And of course you'll celebrate Shambusho, adding to his tally as the all-time leading goal scorer for the club. Now the second one, I'm not sure how far back producer Richard went with this clip, but there was some touches or some faint cries for a handball in the build-up to this one, but take nothing away from the control, the finish, everything, and the kitchen sink on that one. Victory Shambusho, good for 2-0. And of course the Kamloops coach had a spirited protest after that one. And then the third marker, a long floated cross into the penalty area, headed straight up. The keeper comes for the punch, cleans out a couple players, and it falls to the feet of Victory Shambusho. Slight deflection. And that has us where we stand, 3-0, Unity in firm control of this League 1 BC matchup. The doubleheader, the early match, the women's encounter, 9-3 for Unity over Kamloops. And we'll see if the Unity men can get the sweep for the local club here at Cloverdale Athletic. A little bit of shade now covering the pitch. Some bands and rays of sunshine still peeking out. 16. Partly cloudy, partly sunny, but a great improvement over the rain earlier. And actually talking with some colleagues here at Unity FC who were out golfing earlier today and got absolutely rained on. So I'm sure this is a breath of fresh air to, 1, be dry, and to 2, be in the sunshine, enjoying some local craft beverages. Perhaps a beaver tail or two. I like mine with Nutella and cut up bananas on them. It's all happening here at Cloverdale Athletic Park, so definitely come down, check out the Red Barn, 168th and 64th in Surrey. Activities for the kids, activities for your poochies, your pups, your pets. And of course, lots of soccer action going on here as well for the grown-ups. We got you the out-of-town scoreboard just before halftime. We'll dip back into that in the second half. Kamloops, of course, they fell 4-0 to TSS Rovers last match. And things have kind of continued in that vein here against Unity. Unity, meanwhile, 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws. They drew 1-1 with the Nanaimo last match. They'll be pleased as punch with the start to this one. Of course, still 45 plus change to play to see out the result. And Kamloops will, I'm sure, the message having been at halftime, let's get a goal early here, lads, because they had chances, and this could be a goal, and it is! It's a fantastic goal! What a header there! It's Sean Freeman. He was one of the bright spots for Kamloops in that first half. Great swooped-in cross, and he meets it, glances it over the diving keeper, Harrison Goff, who's been excellent tonight as well. Good goal from Kamloops, and just as I mentioned, they need to get something positive to start the half. They do indeed. What a goal that is. It's Sean Freeman. He just got goal side of Naseeb Baines, and he still had a heck of a ton of work to do. He launches himself headlong at it, and that's when he'll be celebrating for a bit. It might end up just being a consolation marker, but as a striker, you lick your chops waiting for moments like that one, and he poached that one to a tee. Fantastic goal there from Freeman, and now Kamloops have life. And Unity will have to be on their best behavior now, as if a second goal were to fly past the keeper Goff. I don't want to say it would be panic stations, but all of a sudden that 3-0 lead evaporating, I'm sure the confidence would take a bit of a blow. Low now. He was clattered over ever so slightly. Once again, fans, a reminder, unityfc.ca is your home for everything Unity FC. For tickets, merchandise, club news, upcoming youth player camps, and more, visit unityfc.ca today. And while you're at it, don't forget to follow Unity FC on Instagram and X at UnityFCBC. What a rip of a shot there. That one almost nestles into the top bins. I think that was Lennon Thompson who put everything, all his weight behind that one. He smoked the leather off of that ball, and it just flies over the junction of the crossbar and the post. Probably would have pierced the meshing had it gone in the net. That was hit with some kind of venom. And a fast start in this second half. Long diagonal ball over the top. Looking for the on run of the winger there. I want to say it's the substitute. They did make a handful of substitutions, did Kamloops. Daniel Sanya. Ball cleared into a sea of players. It's Sanya who actually comes away with it. Ooh, look at him jink and jive and get away from a couple players as well. Ooh, and that's a robust tackle. My goodness me. It's Kim, who of course best remembered for winning a handful of headers inside the opposition penalty box, almost amounting to a goal in that first half. This time he absolutely cleans out the Unity player. Probably lucky not to get booked as well. It was a stern challenge, to be fair. But the men in white, Unity, will get the free kick. All white, a little bit of black piping and trim with a little bit of pink tint and hue. They're playing from left to right on your dial. Whereas Kamloops, horizontal stripes, green and black with a little bit of white and gold piping and trim. Black shorts, black socks. They're playing from right to left on your stream in this second half. Ball cleared into the box. This could be a real chance for Unity. Headed down. Ooh, that hit a hand. Oh, and the referee says play on. That might be a bit of a makeup call for that handball in the lead up to the Shambusho goal in the second one, because that looked about as clear as a handball inside the penalty box as I've seen for quite some time. And the referee was right there to spot it. I'm sure Kamloops won't mind a bit, but Unity might have a bit of a gripe after this one should the result not go their way. Clever play there by Fussell. Intertwining. Quick one-touch football at the moment from Unity. Thompson tried to side foot a shot, but it was blocked, and now Kamloops have a chance to get the ball forward. Finley Grid siding tackle there by Baines. Deep throw in, if not a corner kick. It will be a corner kick. It'll be Sagaste over to take. Ooh, this one almost in the back of the net. Kamloops do get it in the back of the net. It's a mad scramble off a corner. Again, it wasn't dealt with. It was stood up to the back post. No one could clear it. And I want to say it's Freeman again. He's going to get a brace here. We're going to have a quick look at the replay here. Oh, it's the keeper who actually flapped at it at the near post. It comes out at the back post. And that'll be the easiest goal Freeman will score. Number 18, 2 on the night for him. And what seemed like an almost certain result now is in serious jeopardy for Unity after conceding 2 goals, 2 Freeman goals in the first 8 minutes of the second half. Tough keeping, though, by Goff. He saw the ball almost nestling into that near post, and he had to put a touch to it. Unfortunately, all he could do is kind of scuff it out to the back post. Unfortunately for him, Sean Freeman, who had just set up shop, just had to side foot it in. And this game has come right back to life. And the non-call on that handball moments before that one all of a sudden looms larger. So missed handballs at both ends have resulted at goals, have resulted as goals, I beg your pardon, gone up the other way of the field. So it'll be interesting to watch the highlights after this one. Once again, Unity Football Club would like to acknowledge and thank the following club partners for their generous support. Coca-Cola, Real Magic, only a sip away. Hold that thought, because here comes Kamloops. Pop forward into the box. Good shepherding there by Baines, who had Isaac Tate all over him, but he did just enough to keep him at arm's length and thwart the potential chance. Coca-Cola, Real Magic, only a sip away, as I mentioned. And, of course, Macron, Ontario, the preferred uniform and equipment supplier of Unity FC, as well as many clubs across Europe as well. Macron, one of those underrated kit brands that you always see popping up here and there, and whether it's the Premiership with Aston Villa of years ago or some of the clubs in Italy like Chievo Verona as well. Good to see Macron spreading their brand. Clearance there by Goff, but it's gone right up Main Street, and this looks like a tale of 2 halves, as outside of maybe that 10-minute spell after the 1-0 goal, Kamloops were second best in that first half, but at the moment, they're enjoying their football, and Unity don't look like they have the energy to track them down at the moment. Even Victory Shambusho, who was a real pepper pot in that first half, even he looks a bit stifled. Oh, and that's a tug back there from the number 10. Number 10, the substitute, one of the substitutes for Kamloops that have, Dejan Vujovic. Got a handful of shirt there. He agrees with me on the Macron kits. He likes them so much, he wanted to take one home for himself. Baines plays it short. He feigned like he was going to just smash one into the box, but plays it short. Low. Back post, Shambusho. He was always kind of leaning back. All he could do is nod it towards the touchline. Unfortunate, had he been maybe 5 yards behind it, he might have been able to really lean a powerful header down into the net. You just wonder if Unity might want to make a couple changes here. They look a dash off the pace compared to their first half efforts. And of course, Kamloops aren't making it easy on them by any stretch, but Unity looked like a far cry from the team who was controlling play in that first half. That being said, picked off ball, middle of the park. It's Francis Powell. He gets wiped out there by the substitute. I would say it was Sonia. My goodness me. A bit of a lunge there from the number 14, and he wipes out Thompson. It'll be a free kick, dangerous area, probably 25 yards out in the left channel for Unity. And it's just what Kamloops don't need, would be to concede a goal after having such a good run of play here. Four or five players lined up at the back post for Unity. They've got Nick Fussell just hanging out the top of the area, waiting to pick up any scraps that might squirt free. Here it comes. Low and hard on the deck. That didn't even get past the first line of defense, and that's a wasted opportunity for Unity there, as they had gotten some good territory there. And once again, they feigned for the long aerial ball just to play it short. It was picked off. Colborne gets clipped. And we've got a player down and a player hurt here. Right at the halfway line. I didn't see the number on the Kamloops kit, but it looked like he might have just awkwardly come together with Sanya. We're just going to get a replay of it here now. Yeah, it looked like he might have just bumped Noggins. He was falling down into Sanya, and Sanya just couldn't get out of the way. And the lad, I believe it's number 7, Ben Finley. He's now up on his side, and he looks to be moving around, which is good news. But at first, he wasn't moving a muscle, and that looked not good. Didn't look overly strong, the fall, but maybe just an awkward clip or something has kept him down here. It's very unfortunate to see this kind of stuff. Ben Finley, we hope he can carry on here. And obviously it looks like he's in okay shape. He's now into a sitting position. Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him. Nothing malicious from the Unity player, that's for certain. Just unfortunately, just a bit of a coming together. Still on his, sat up on his backside is Finley. Just getting some look from the physio team at the moment. Yeah, just another look at the coming together there. Just unfortunate and ill-timed more than anything. He kind of just was falling into his own player. Thankfully, Finley's up. He's good to go. He's going to make his way to the bench. We'll see if he can continue in the next couple of minutes. He's actually peeled off his shirt. Yeah, Finley's peeled off his shirt here, so that'll be maybe an early shower for Finley unless he can find his way back in. I don't know if that's concussion protocol or what the decision was there, but Finley got up, walked straight off, took off his kit, and he's sitting there getting looked at by the physio crew again. Yeah, Finley's off. So the number 7 will depart this matchup. Entering now will be number 24, Charlie Stewart for Kamloops. And it's a shame because I thought Finley was having a pretty good day at the office. He was one of those players that was cooking. He was buzzing around. He was creating things. He was not taking no for an answer. He was really causing some trouble for Unity. So we'll see what this substitution does for the structure and kind of the endeavor of Kamloops, because they were buzzing. And we're going to have a substitution for Unity as well. Number 19, Dante Colborne is going to come off. And number 10, Grant Verhoeven will come on, it appears. That will be the substitution. So double swap there. Finley out, Stewart in for Kamloops. And then Verhoeven in the number 10 for number 19, Dante Colborne in Unity colors. Back underway now. Now, probably add at least 2 or 3, maybe even 4 minutes to stoppage time at the end of this 90 minutes. Throw in taken short. Bit of a suspect throw, but the referee says play on. Christensen going for a dribble here. Nobody really wants to stop the big lad. I can't say I'd want to be the guy to step in front of him either, but he's allowed to kind of cruise up Main Street, and it's opened up some area for Kamloops. Vujovic had enough time to probably spread it to his right for Sanya, but he tried to get a bit too cute, and he was dispossessed by Shambusho. Shambusho's going to get the ball back. Did he keep himself onside? He did. Played into the area. Nodded down by Christensen. It was a clean nod down as well. Good defending there from the strapping number 21 in Kamloops colors. Vujovic with a nutmeg of his man. Thompson gets it back. Side step overs from the Kamloops player. Can't get past Bagveer Sadu. Fussell tried to spray it to the left for Caden Ruby, but they were just too close together. That's a clever ball there. Good ball there from Freeman. Is he going to get it back? He will. Freeman tried to cut inside his man. Wins the ball. Does Baines. Freeman thought he might have been clipped. Through ball now for Freeman. He's dragged down. That'll be a penalty. As Freeman did ever so well to get inside Baines. He used his body to shield, and Baines drags down his man. I feel for Baines on that one because he had the body position, but at the very last second, it's very clever from Freeman. He sticks his foot in front to kind of block it and then goes for a tumble. It's a penalty, and it looks like it'll be Javier Sagaste to equalize for Kamloops after Unity had a 3-0 lead entering the half. Sagaste is sizing up his options here. The referee just having a word with Harrison Goff, who has been pretty good on the point-blank, bang-bang plays today. He's had to palm away a couple stingers. We'll see if he can do it from close range here. Javier Sagaste with the captain's armband will take a couple paces back. He's going to go right-footed, and it's going to be a short run-up. Sagaste hammers it to his left. Goff's right, and we are all square here at Cloverdale Athletic Park. And it seemed fairly uncertain entering this second half that, and I said uncertain, not impossible, that Kamloops would claw back all 3 goals, but they've done just that. And you have to tip your cap to the number 18, Sean Freeman. 2 goals, wins a penalty, converted by Sagaste. And what Shambusho did at one end, oh man. And now the goalie has handled the ball outside the penalty box, or did it drift off into touch? I'm not sure if it's a corner or a free kick, but this game's still got legs in it. This game's still got legs in it, and drama and controversy for sure. We've had a couple controversial handball calls that led to goals. Goalkeepers are flying off their lines left, right, and center. It's been one of those days today at Cloverdale Athletic Park, whether it was the women's match or the men's match. Goals aplenty. And the scoreboard on the opposite side of the field is still reading 3-2 for Unity, but it is in fact 3-3. So do follow the decal or the graphic that producer Richard does have at the top of the screen. That's the one to follow, 3-3. Interesting angle for this free kick. It's Nick Fussell, a 2-man wall, and it's literally right along the goal line and the 18-yard box. Hard, low, doesn't get past the near post. He actually did well to get it around the wall, but now it's a break for Kamloops, and it's 4-on-2. And he's going to go from halfway. Is he going to get there? No, and you know what? He probably should have held the ball and passed to his teammates because he had 4 players either side of 2 Unity defenders. They probably could have walked that one in. But the lad got a bit too excited, saw his name in the marquee, up in the stars, and tried to Beckham it in from halfway, and unfortunately it screwed way wide. And now the scoreboard across the field is reading 3-3, so we got it. Vujovic. Ooh, good challenge there by Baines, and it had to be her. He had Freeman breathing down his neck. He gets it forward for Ruby. Fussell. What a set of games if you're just joining us. The early one, a 9-3 victory for the Unity women. But, of course, the score didn't really reflect what went on the field. Kamloops were in that one till the death. There was goals flying in and chances flying in everywhere. And this one, Victor Shambusho had Unity seemingly in dreamland, 3-0 at the half. And we might actually be on the other side of a 4-3 scoreline here. Good defending by the number 5, Adam Hajdecki, I beg your pardon. But this has opened up something fierce in this second half as, like I said, Unity were in dreamland, 3-0 up. And Kamloops have turned the tide and look like they might go on to get a fourth like you just saw there. But it doesn't look out of the realm of possibility for Unity to take it up the other end and score a goal as well. So it's pretty open. If you're a neutral, this is a fun game of soccer to watch for sure. Field's opening up now for Fussell. Good backtracking run by Sanya there, and he's got to get out to the touchline to meet Shambusho. He does. Into the penalty box now. Shambusho taking on Sanya. Sanya just trying to keep him at bay, and he does ever so well just to force Shambusho back. Thompson. Sadu. Good move by Sadu. Can he get it across? He does. Just too much lift on it. It floats over the cage of number 88, Turan. Good reply there from Unity, who in this second half they've been absorbing a lot of pressure, but they just need to keep themselves in the mix. As far as getting chances, you don't want to sit back and bunker and absorb too much pressure because you're playing an odds game then, and that will burn you. They got to keep themselves attacking. They got to keep themselves advanced. They got to keep themselves sharp and moving around. Kamloops, though, they have different ideas in mind. They're playing a very good road game at the moment. Oof, that was risky, but he got away with it. Rona, a leading name in Canada's home improvement sector, helping DIYers and pros bring their projects to life for over 85 years. Rona, proud partner of your Unity FC. Shambusho in a bit of a dogfight in the middle of the park there with Sagaste. Looks like he got one in the chops, did Sagaste. Ooh, and then there's bodies flying all over the park in the penalty box. It was Ruby who looked like he got dragged down by Kim. The keeper, Turan, was in the mix as well, and this has become a spirited affair all of a sudden. Good play there by Sanya. Ooh, and then Freeman goes down a dash easy, but it was a clip on the knee. Good play there by Sanya, who's been excellent since coming on in the second half. The lad just will not stop running, and he's not afraid to get involved in the physical aspect of the game as well, which you always like to see. And Sagaste is just getting a bit of treatment on the far side. He got a stray elbow right in the teeth from Shambusho on the previous play. Looks like he's okay. Right up the middle of the park for this free kick. Probably about 40 yards out, maybe even 45. It's going to take something special here, but they kind of handcuffed the keeper on that corner kick that led to the second goal. Maybe they might want to do more of the same, Kamloops, and just try and force Unity to really defend a tough weighted ball. We'll see what happens here. Right down Main Street, headed on by Christensen. It flies right up into the area for Sagaste. Left-footed blast! Christensen couldn't keep it alive. He was trying to set himself up for a shot, but it was toe poked away by, I believe it was Bagveer Sadu, and now Sadu tried to get it forward for Shambusho. That one is cleared right into the supporter section. Four games on the League 1 BC men's schedule this weekend. Yesterday, Langley 2-1 over Burnaby. TSS Rovers 2-1 over Evolution. Today, Vancouver Whitecaps Academy 3, Nanaimo 2. And the current game that we're watching / listening to right now. 3-3 between Unity and Kamloops. Victory Shambusho with all 3 goals for Unity in the first half. 3-0 before Kamloops came storming back in the second half. Freeman with a brace, and then Sagaste from the penalty spot to equalize. And at the moment, it's back and forth stuff with both squads not willing to accept a point here. Of course, winner draw. Our announcer, Oscar, will pop down for the post-match festivities, field level, so do stick around. Probably effort Victory Shambusho, I would assume, yes? Oscar's right on top of that. We'll get to that in the post-match. Here comes Unity in the box. Low, trying to wriggle away from the shot. Shambusho! Oh, my goodness me. Point blank range with the header from probably about 2 yards out. All he had to do was steer it on net, but he just missed a whisker wide. He got the DJ too. Even the DJ thought it went in the back of the net. The whole stadium thought that was in the back of the net, but it wasn't. Shambusho will be ever so displeased with himself that he didn't score from that position. It was a fast ball over the top. Oh my goodness me. It's even harsher on the replay, isn't it? I feel for Victory there. I feel for Victory. It certainly looked like that was nestling into that net. So I could see why the optical illusion may have bamboozled a couple people here at Cloverdale Athletic Park. But my goodness, Victory Shambusho, he'll see that in his nightmares. Oh, it should be 4-3 for Unity. Victory Shambusho should have 4. My goodness. Arguably easier than any of the 3 he scored in the first half. Now the sun is just setting just behind the, I guess it would be the, what direction is that? West, north? No, that's south. Behind the south net. Had to get my compass out for that one. Behind the south net, the sun's setting, so shade covering the entire park now here at Cloverdale Athletic. Number 2 pitch, the Red Barn, if you're driving by on 64th and 168th. Ruby tried to head it over his fellow number 21, Christensen. That was a duel of tall lads there. That's thumped into the parking lot. Ooh. Yep, bounced off somebody's BMW hood. See, that's why you don't park really close to the park, because if something goes flying and you wear it, man, nobody wins. Nobody wins. I parked over there, way over there. Shambusho rolls his man. Can he get the ball back? Shambusho, he can't. He's still giving up the fight, though, Shambusho. He wants that one back, something fierce. Bagveer, Sadu to Shambusho. Skips past 1, skips past 2. Return ball from Ruby. And Fussell tried to smack at it that one. He couldn't make contact, though. It's a bit scrappy around the Kamloops box right now. Low. Sadu. Great overlapping run there from the substitute. Shot! Oh, good stop. It was Kieran Eve, the substitute, who had put in a good, low, hard cross. It was met by Caden Ruby, but all he could do was steer it into the waiting arms of the goalkeeper, Turan. Good spell there from Unity, though. They needed something there. They needed a little 1-2 punch to answer the bell. It had been Kamloops for far too long. And between the Victory Shambusho gilt-edged chance and that last one from Ruby, I beg your pardon, Unity look like they have something serious to sink their teeth into with just under 15 minutes to go here. Oh, my goodness. I'm having nightmares for Victory Shambusho over that header. My man. Oh, it happens to the best of us. Ruby, beg your pardon, Low. Ruby dropping a bit deeper to get on the ball now for Unity. He's kind of let Nick Fussell up on his own. Grant Verhoeven is in the mix as well in the midfield, though. Just struggling to keep it. Good play there. That was Wyatt Leon, who, outside his 18-yard box, I don't know if I would have tried it. Look at that from Sanya. Kamloops have come to life here on this counterattack. Ball cut across the area, only as far as I believe it's Sagaste. Ooh, that's a robust challenge, but he got the ball. A clean, robust challenge. And Sagaste is on the turf contemplating life after that one. What a tackle. Long diagonal. Pounded ball to that right corner flag. It wasn't picked up by Ruby. Unity, though, are starting to look better this last 2-3 minutes here. They're enjoying a bit more possession, and they look a bit more energetic here. Perhaps a handful of those substitutions work the charm. Shambusho now into the penalty box. Tried to get to the inside of Christensen. And it was a bit of a wrestling match there for a second, but if there's one man you probably want jockeying Shambusho, it's probably Christensen. He's a football-looking player, to be honest with you. Doesn't look like a guy you'd want to go into a tussle with. And now Kamloops, you hear some of the calls on the field. Time, let's keep it. They were just being forced to defend there, and that's an unforced error. If you're a Kamloops supporter, a dash frustrating. The last thing they want to do is claw back all the way from 3-0 just to let it go. Look at this overlapping run. Low in the penalty box, right-footed. Cuts back to his left. Just one too many shimmies and shakes. It just allowed the Kamloops defense to drop, and this is kind of becoming end-to-end stuff here. Verhoeven. Fussell. Into the path of Shambusho. But Shambusho and Ruby kind of crossed their wires. Neither of them knew which one wanted to take it. And eventually by the time Shambusho put his stamp on it, as the defender Riyad Jaha, who had cleared the ball. Good play there again from Unity. It's Low. Getting in that ball. Looking for Shambusho. Comes off the lap of number 2, Kim, and it'll be a corner from the far left-hand touchline. And it looks like we'll have a substitution exiting the park. Number 15, Nick Fussell. Just waiting to see the board here go up so we can identify the man coming on. It'll be number 11, Jovan Sadu, to replace Nick Fussell.
Unity FC substitution in the 80th minute. Entering the game, number 11, Jovan Sadu. Leaving the game, number 15, Nick Fussell.
Right-footed in swinger. Right to the near post, headed on. Comes off the backside of a Kamloops defender, still alive though. Hajdecki has it, muscling for position. Eventually Christensen just says enough of this and blasts it out onto the touchline. 10 minutes plus change to go here. Will Unity see a 3-0 lead slip away and have to settle for a point? Or can they go ahead and try and reclaim what was theirs? Rightfully, they probably feel coming out of that halftime locker room. On the flip side of things, I'm sure Kamloops would be pretty pleased that they came down from 3-0, but why not go for a 4 if you have that mindset? I'm sure they're just as hungry as they were entering this second half. Handball there on Freeman. Referee says play on. Referee not calling handballs today. He's made up his mind. He's not having that. Jovan Sadu. Good spread of play there. It was an intercepted pass for Isaac Tate, but it just does enough to relieve some pressure for Kamloops, who needed to clear their lines there and just give themselves a bit of breathing room. Third ball, gets around the back of Sadu. Sagaste to the top of the 6-yard box with a low, hard cross. It's eventually cleared. Ball over the top looking for Ruby. Is he onside? It looks like he is. The flag stays down. Ruby cuts back on his right foot, has a shot. Good claim there by Taranas. Once again, it took a bit of an awkward hop a couple yards just in front of the keeper. And he did well to smother it. This is a promising run here from Tate. Takes a deflection, came off a couple of Unity players, and it was heart and throat moments there, but thankfully for the Unity support and attendance here, it didn't fall to the feet of a Kamloops striker, or that might have been Curtin's. Good play there by Ruby, who has got Kim all over him, but he's keeping him at bay. Ooh, He gets pushed over, does Ruby, and it'll be a penalty. He had Kim breathing down his neck the entire way. I'd love to see a replay of that one. It didn't look like there was enough contact there for a penalty, but I think Kim might have got just the slightest tug of the sleeve of the shirt or a two-hander there. It's just enough. We're going to have another look here. It's just enough for a penalty, I think. Yeah, because Kim's got his hands all over him. And I think right there, he either tugs him or pushes him. Yeah, it's the faintest of pushes. But Ruby does not need any invitation for that. That's a penalty. And it'll be Naseeb Baines, the number 16, to step up and potentially put Unity FC back in front. A bit of a hush falls over Cloverdale Athletic Park. Nervy moments here with 7 minutes plus change to go in this second half. 3 points rests on the potential right foot of Naseeb Baines, the number 16. A central defender. Baines steps up right-footed and scores! He sends the keeper the wrong way!
Go, 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 go!
Turan committed to his right side and threw himself headlong. Unfortunately, Baines went the opposite way. Yeah, cool as you like. Baines, as you see the rubber chunks fly off the turf there, he more or less banked that snooker shot style off the inside of the post and in. Just about. Great penalty there from Baines. Unity FC. Can they hold on now? They reestablish their lead.
Goal! Scored in the 84th minute by number 16, Naseeb Baines.
And Sean Freeman, his night gets even more eventful. He goes in the book for a bit of a submarine job there on Baines, as Baines had won a clean header and Freeman was just a bit late to the party and wiped him out from behind. I was initially skeptical of that penalty call when the referee pointed to the spot. I thought there wasn't enough contact there, but upon review and a couple good replays by producer Richard again, bang on, we got to see that there was just enough. It was either a shirt tug or a push to the back there of Ruby that sent him flying, and I'm sure Kim might have wanted that one back because he had more or less shepherded him to the goal line. And I don't know that Ruby had a ton of options to play back across net. So maybe Kim, in retrospect, might have let that tackle go. But it looks like Kamloops want to get that fourth goal back. Sanya now. Great ball into the feet of Tate. Tate just outside the penalty box. He's going to dribble into the penalty box. Step overs now. Gets to the inside of Bagheer Saduk. Can he size up a cross? He does, but it's just too long, too high, and too far for any Kamloops player to chase. It'll be a goal kick. 5 minutes plus probably quite a bit of stoppage to go after the Ben Finley injury that took place probably about midway through the second half. As mentioned, stick around for the League 1 BC post-match festivities. We'll send Oscar down to field level, where he's probably going to wrangle probably Victory Shambusho still. Yeah, he's nodding. Still Victory Shambusho. Thought maybe he might go Naseeb Baines after the winning penalty, but I think Victory Shambusho probably still is man of the match, or in that conversation anyways for Unity. And if Unity could go ahead and get another one here, that would just be the icing on the cupcake. Sadhu. Jovan Sadhu, that is, for Kim. Back heel, risky, but got away with it. Ruby, hounded by Sanya now. Grant Verhoeven plays his defense into a bit of danger, but Goff clears his lines. Jaha. Tate. Inside Tate. And unfortunately, Tate plays it right back to the opposition. He was trying to spread it to that right touchline, possibly to try and play in Sanya behind the back line. Now Sanya's going to get it. It's a long diagonal. Can he take it down? He does on the hand. And the referee, I should say linesman, puts the flag up for a handball. And this time he gets it bang on because I think Sanya was about to creep in and create some havoc inside the Unity penalty box. This time the flag goes up. Handball called. Controversy averted. Good win there by Verhoeven. Sagaste. Good play there by Sagaste. Unfortunately for him, is just a little bit sloppy on the ball there from Wyatt Leon. And after Sagaste had done ever so well to kind of just create some space in the middle of the park when it was becoming a bit of a phone booth there with the amount of white shirts swarming them. 2 minutes plus stoppage here to go. Sanya stepped on the ball. He's got Ruby draped on him like a cheap suit. We'll see if he can get rid of him. He can't. Ruby does ever so well there. Just hounding Sanya, forces a turnover. Sagaste, great spread ball to the left for Tate. He's got options at the back stick, but he's got to get this ball a little bit closer, you fancy. Good step overs from Tate. You know, I don't know if I agree with that call there. I think that he had just run out of space there, and he kind of just fell over into Victory Shambusho. But Kamloops, they're not going to complain. This is a dangerous free kick. 25 yards out, left channel, and maybe the last real kick of the can here from Kamloops. And it's all hands on deck for Unity as they're now bringing Ruby back into the area. Everybody's behind the ball now. There will be 5 minutes of added time, which I think is a bit conservative. I thought maybe more like 6 or 7. The keeper, Turan, in the Kamloops net, he's thinking about making a swashbuckling run forward to get his head in the mix. Tate. Knotted down. And Kamloops just being a bit too intricate there. Somebody need to put the boot behind that one. Kim for Tate in this left touchline. Tried to get to the inside of Shambusho. He tried to play a 1-2 with Sagaste, but Sagaste fell over. Ooh, and Kim, you know what? He had to get that tackle bang on her. I think he was wiping out Joven Sadu, but he did. It was a 2-footed lunge, but he got all the ball. Well timed there by Kim. 5 minutes, as mentioned, to go in this one. Jaha wins the ball. Sagaste has Joven Sadu behind him. Just manages to scamper forward and get a bit of space for himself. Christensen. Laced ball forward for Sanya. It's a great ball, too. Over the top. The number 24, as he got there, he hasn't. It was Charlie Stewart. I thought he might just be able to muscle off. I think it was Bagveer Sadu there to create a scoring chance, but the number 24 just couldn't get inside. Bagveer made himself very big there. Long throw in, probably into about
The fourth official has indicated 5 minutes of added time.
probably about into a minute and a half of the added time now, so maybe 3.5, 4 to go here. We'll see how much wiggle room the referee will show. Shambusho, he's looking to put the nail in the coffin here, or at least take it to the corner flag and eat up some of the clock. Kieran Eve. Right footed shot. Ooh, it looked like it might dip in at that left post, but Turan. Substitute Stewart. Probably about 2.5, 3 minutes left. course, as mentioned, do stick around for the League 1BC post-match show, as we'll catch up with hat-trick hero Victory Shambusho after this one. Good play there by Sanya. Oh, and a good sliding tackle by Verhoeven. If he doesn't make that one, that might have been a free walk on net in that right channel for the men in green and black. This is a real chance for Kamloops. Ball skimmed across the area, takes a deflection. It was cut out there by Baines, I believe. And as if any more chaos couldn't be bestowed upon this game, somebody's car alarm is going off on the far edge of the stadium, so it's created a little bit more havoc, a little bit more intensity, and oof, and the referee has let that one go. That looked like a pretty clear obstruction off the ball, and I think it's Isaac Tate. He's pretty incredulous. He can't believe his luck there. It looked like he got mugged off the ball, to be quite honest with you, so definitely feel for the number 13 of Kamloops there. Knotted down. Shambusher, I beg your pardon. Sanya muscled off the ball there. He was trying to knock it down for one of his teammates. Time of the essence here. Jaha. Christensen. Leon. Sagaste. Cross into the penalty box. Took a deflection. Falls down. This could be a chance for Kamloops. Oh, and he gets underneath it. It's number 10, Dejan Vujovic. And that's probably the last kick of the can they might get there. And now we have a Unity player down with some cramp. And we're going to have a substitution here, I believe. And Baines, who is the player who had the cramp, they had the physio squad come out. So that means he'll have to leave the park and be readmitted. And here we go. Dying embers of this one. Kamloops are going to need something pretty fantastic to bring this one level again. And it's a shame if you're a Kamloops supporter. They had done ever so well. Down 3-0. They clawed back to 3-3, but penalty converted by Baines made it 4-3 with about 10 minutes to go. And outside of that last chance off the foot of Vujovic, Kamloops haven't had a ton of love here since going down 4-3. Tate, good dribble there. Jaha receives the ball. Can he put it across? He does. It's got some hook on it. Oh, and he tried to lay it back to Freeman. This could be a chance here. Sanya gets too far underneath it, and that might be the game. It'll be a goal kick for Harrison Goff. It looked like it might just line up for them there at the very end, Kamloops. I think it was Freeman who was running towards that post and tried to knock it back into a more favorable position centrally in the penalty box, but he just scuffed his effort and it ended up being a tidy clearance for Unity. Goff to the left touchline. Headed straight up. Daniel Hobson, the late substitution, watches it fly over his head. And there is the full-time whistle. There was drama, there was controversy, but there was no lack of entertainment. Unity FC go up 3-0 on the strength of a Victory Shambusho hat trick, only to surrender all 3 goals right back to Kamloops in the second half. But never fear, Unity fans. It was Nasib Baines from the penalty spot after Caden Ruby had been dragged down by Kim in the penalty box. He slashes it past the keeper, Turan, and despite some late nervy moments, that goal holds up. 4-3 the final, Unity victorious, back to winning ways After drawing 1-1 with Nanaimo last match day, Kamloops, they're going to have to lick their wounds a little bit here. They fell 4-0 to TSS Rovers last match, and they'll drop a 4-3 decision to Unity here at Cloverdale Athletic Park. Just before we head down to pitch level and catch up with Oscar for the post-match show, he'll be joined by Victory Sambusho. Let's break down a list of our loving sponsors. But first, dreaming of a pro career, college scholarship, or next level performance? The Elite Summer Combine is your chance to make it happen. This high-intensity 4-day camp is designed to push your game further. Train with top coaches and former pros, including Domletics founder Dominic Reinold and Unity FC Sporting Director Paul Ballard. July 14th to 17th. Limited spots available. Get all the details at unityfc.ca. And for all the latest League 1BC matchups, updates, scores, stats, and probably the standings after this one, and news updates, be sure to download the League One Live app free from the Apple and Android app stores. Let's head down to Oscar. Post-match, he's with Victory Sambusho.
After an emphatic, crazy win here at Cloverdale Athletic Park, I'm here with our hat-trick hero, Victory Sambusho. Victory, walk us through the game. How do we feel about the team's performance today?
A little bit anxious there at the end, we were comfortably in at half, and our levels dropped a bit, but glad to win.
Absolutely. We saw the team come together, pull through, put that final push towards the end of the game. You personally, we saw 3 goals from you tonight. Walk us through. When you're scoring and aiming for the goal, what are you thinking about? What are you aiming for?
Honestly, when I'm in the zone, I'm not thinking anything. I'm just instincts.
Absolutely. Instincts, practice, repeat. Practice makes perfect. And finally, of course, today marks the first home win of the season for Unity FC. How does it feel to win in front of the fans today?
No, it's amazing. Thank you so much for coming out. We really appreciate the support. It's been still up and down, but it's really good to win at home and see a lot of faces here.
Amazing. Victory, thank you so much. Fans, one more time for Victory Sambusho and your Unity FC.
The energetic Oscar with the post-match interview with Victory Sambusho there. 3 goals. Kamloops clawed back. They made it 3-3, but a nervy last-ditch penalty from Naseeb Baines puts Unity over top 4-3, and as you heard Oscar say, the first home victory for Unity FC here at Cloverdale Athletic Park. The Big Red Barn on 64th and 168th. The home of some entertaining football this afternoon. Once again, a quick recap of today's activities. The women's match, a 9-3 victory for Unity over Kamloops. And they improve, entering the day second in the standings. And then, of course, the late match, Unity 4, Kamloops 3. They improved to 11 points on the season, 3 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, and back to winning ways are Unity FC. My name's Corey Basso. Thank you so much for listening to the broadcast today. Big thanks to Tommy the cameraman, Richard producer, Oscar announcer, DJ Cal. He got excited on the one Victory Sambusho thing, but we won't blame him. We were all excited. It was a great day today at Cloverdale Athletic Park. Thanks for tuning in, and once again, stay tuned to the League 1BC Live app for all the updates. Thank you, good night, and have a great weekend.
I got it certified. I got it certified. I got it certified. I got it certified. I can see your jaw drop. Don't really care honestly, cause I only need the crew plus me. We stay all day, UK, okay, just vibes. We slide all day, all night, all night, all night, all night, all night. I don't stop, I don't sleep, cause I only need my crew plus me.
All night, all night, all night, all night, all night,
Only need my crew plus me.
all night, all night, all night, all night,
Only need my crew plus me.
all night.
Only one place we wanna be. Only need the crew plus me. Don't know who we're gonna see, but I heard they play a couple CDs. £8 for a G&T. Probably gonna spill it on my jeans. Don't really care honestly, cause I only need the crew plus me. We stay all day,
All night,
UK, okay,
all night,
just vibes. We slide
all night,
all day, all night,
all night,
all night, all night,
all night,
all night, all night. I don't stop, I don't sleep,
all night,
cause I only need my crew plus me.
all night,
I don't stop, I don't sleep, 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 I don't stop, 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 cause I only need my crew plus me.
all night.
From the calm waters of Crescent Beach, where the natural beauty of Surrey meets the open sky, to the pitch where we unite as one, Unity FC brings the strength and the spirit of Surrey to every game.